guys, Retro here, and I hope everyone is remaining retro. Well, the time has come for me to do my top 5 favorite Capcom game of all time. This is a video response to the legend by the name of Gul Payne. In at number 5 is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Heritage for the Future. I am a big fan of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure anime, so the fact that there was a game that was dedicated to the anime, a fighting game at that, then I definitely had to give this a look. It's something that I've discovered recently, and I'm so glad I did because I love everything about it. It's not just the fact that because it's based on one of my favorite animes, but the gameplay itself is very good. Great character roster, great music as well, and it's quite faithful to the anime as well. Even if you're not a fan of the anime, but if you do enjoy good fighting games, good fighting Capcom games, then I do think this is one that everyone can enjoy. This one is available on the Dreamcast and arcade as well. I discovered it via emulation online, but most definitely, if I ever do get a Dreamcast, this is one I would like to have in my personal collection. In at number 4 is The Punisher. This obviously came out on the arcade as well, a classic arcade beat 'em up, and I also believe it was available on the Sega Genesis as well. This is a fantastic, proper 90s beat 'em up game. Probably one of the best beat 'em up games ever made. It is just so much fun. Again, this is one, unfortunately, that I discovered a lot later in life, actually about 2 or 3 years ago, to be exact. Uh, but man, it is just fantastic. It plays so well. It looks so good. It sounds so good. The fact that there's diverse weapons that you can use, and it just it's just a really fun game to play. It has nice controls as well, and it's just so easy to get into. I'm not a comic book guy. I never was really, but whether you like comic books or not, if you're a fan of beat 'em ups, or even if you're not, I think this particular game, I think anyone can enjoy. It's just so good, and it's definitely one that I want to play more of when I do get the chance. Again, it's something that I've discovered, I'll say recently, if we're going to say about 2, 3 years ago. It's not something that I grew up with, but I'm glad that I have discovered it. Better late than never. If you've never played this, you got to give it a try. I promise you won't be disappointed. At number 3 is Mega Man X. I have a lot of love for Mega Man games. I haven't played all of them, and I know it's not something that I've talked a lot about on my channel. That's simply just because I'm very bad at Mega Man games. But believe me, I have a lot of love for this series. Um, and Mega Man X is my favorite Mega Man game from the whole series. I haven't played all of them, but from the ones that I played, I really like this one. It's also a game that I consider very highly on the Super Nintendo as well. Not one that I've ever owned myself. I played it a lot via, renting it via emulation console, of course, and even on some collections discs that I've had back in the day. Um, but this game for me, it was always just a good time. Even though I always struggled with it, even though I never got far, I've always enjoyed the challenge that it posed. Funny enough, my brother, he wasn't too big on Mega Man, but I've always enjoyed it, and I'm hoping it's something that I can play a little more down the future, because it is a fantastic game. It is a fantastic series, and if you haven't played Mega Man X, then I would strongly recommend it. But just be aware, it's not an easy game by any means. So in at number 2 is the mighty Final Fight on the NES. When it comes to Final Fight, I have so much love for this series. Final Fight 1, 2, 3, all the Final Fight games are fantastic. You can easily include several of them in your top 5 or top 10 for Capcom games, or even games of all time. However, for the purpose of this video, I wanted to include just one, which essentially is my favorite. I didn't grow up with Mighty Final Fight. I actually played this around 2016-15, if I'm not mistaken, but it was around that time. I, grew up obviously with the Final Fight, Final Fight 2, lots of love for those games as well. But when I first laid my eyes on Mighty Final Fight, I just fell in love right away. I mean, it's Final Fight, but it's got its Nintendo 8-bit charm. It sounds good, it plays good. You can gain some experience points as well. And it's not hard, which is, I think, a reason why I like it a lot. It's not a hard game. It's not one that you can play with your eyes closed, but it's not a hard game by any means. It's easy to navigate, and it's just loads of fun. It's possibly one of the best games made on the Nintendo Entertainment System, in my humble opinion, of course. But lots of love for this one. My brother Sean too, when he tried it, he liked it too. He's like, man, I didn't even know they had an 8-bit version of Final Fight. And again, we came across it around that time. But it's a fantastic game. Strongly recommended. If it wasn't so expensive, I would definitely have it in my collection. But if I ever find it at the right price, then most definitely I will own this. Give it a try. It's easily accessible on emulation and whatnot. Really fun game. It's a really good time. And like I said, for me, what stands out is it just has its 8-bit charm mixed with the greatness of Final Fight. So, you can't go wrong with that. And in at number one, I mean, I'm not even going to talk too much about it because I've spoken so much about this on my channel. Super Street Fighter 2, the new challengers. Lots of love for all the Street Fighter 2 versions, but this is the one that I grew up with. This is the one that I owned. And like I said, I don't want to talk too much about it because I've done it on numerous occasions. But to really kind of just put everything in a nutshell, it's basically, in my opinion, Street Fighter 2, but like I guess we could say on steroids. And what I mean by that is it just looks better graphically. The character art or the character displays in the character select screen just looks amazing. Find the music sounds a little more crisp or better as well. It is a little slow when compared to the other Street Fighter. That is true. But aside from that, it is just fantastic. A lot of great modes as well. That intro sequence is probably the best I've ever seen in gaming history. I would even say it's the best. And again, that's my opinion, of course. But just everything about it. The fact that you can change, you can color swap your character's costume to about 6 or 7, depending on the button that you input, right? Um, and again, for me, like I said, it comes down to the memories. I'm just gonna simply say that this is probably the game that I played the most. That includes with my brothers, with my sisters, with myself. I actually played this a lot by myself as well, especially when my brother would go off to school. Like I said, we had a 10-year difference. So when I was 4 years old or 3 years old at home, and he'd be going off to school, and I would pop in Super Street Fighter 2 and just start playing it. So for me, this is always going to be the game. Not only is it the best game in terms of Capcom games, but for me, probably the best game ever made. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Big up to Goldpain for starting this. And if anybody wants to take part, please do. Tag the legend. And until then, always remain retro.